Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the number one sports recreational podcast in the world. I am the number one sports recreational podcaster in the world, the 23-year-old piece of gold, the Podfather. I am joined by my tag team partner. He's the Jimmy to my J, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T, the Tully to my Arn. He's the current reigning defending Bulletcast champion this Saturday and Sunday, the Canadian Destroyer, BT, Brandon Tanguma. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Little later recording than normal, but it's still going to be that pristine audio quality that you guys have all come to know and love.
Absolutely. It is 7:17 PT as I record in my state here in Hayward, California. And Brandon, you're recording in your estate in what, San Leandro? San Lorenzo?
San Lorenzo.
There we go. Two different cities, but we're making this happen. Well, one time we did this in two different states. So, yeah.
Yes, we did.
We're moving on up. Maybe we'll be on two different continents once and do this podcast. You never know.
I mean, we could have done it in two different continents, but I was taking my vacation time, and the time difference it really just messes everything up.
Hey, I work graveyard shifts. I would have been up. I would have been ready to do it, man. You just let me know. All right.
Next time.
All right, for sure. So let's get into it. But before we do, we have to talk about what's going on with the mass shootings that have happened in El Paso, Texas, Dayton, Ohio, and then out here in Gilroy, California. I forgot to mention the Gilroy one, the last recording that we did. But I know we refer to him as the other guy, but Mitchell, who used to be on the show, former BC champ, he was at the Garlic Festival in Gilroy, and luckily he left before the shooting started. But Brandon, what are your overall thoughts about the mass shootings that have been going on with El Paso and Gilroy and Dayton, Ohio?
I mean, what is there to say? America, have the most mass shootings compared to anybody else, and yet, Congress doesn't want to do anything about it because the NRA got them in their pockets, and everyone says thoughts and prayers, but thoughts and prayers aren't going to bring those people back. We got to change some stuff around here. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say before I get too heated about it.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do send my condolences to the people who have lost loved ones, but it comes a point in a time where we as a people, there are people who are blind. We have to stop blaming mental health. There's nothing related to mental health to this. You decided to just go shoot up a Walmart or go shoot up a festival or something. You weren't clinically insane. You're just an a-hole, and you wanted to do that. Yeah. But we're gonna move on from that. So we both discussed Harley Race. I did my tribute to him, and you discussed him on Under the Radar. But in case people didn't hear those, quick thoughts on the passing of handsome Harley Race.
I mean, obviously, sad news. He passed away at the age of 76. He was in rough shape, I believe, for a little bit of a while now, and he. People said that he has more lives than a cat because there was a bunch of times where he could have and probably should have died in accidents, car crashes, and boat accidents, but he was still here. One of the greatest NWA champions of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. So, go out there, watch a Harley Race match or two. I watched the Flair for the Gold, the first ever Starrcade in 1983, I believe, inside a steel cage, Ric Flair versus Harley Race. There's some other good stuff on the network that you can go and check out.
Yeah, man, I mean, Harley Race, the 8-time NWA champ, first ever U.S. champ. I mean, Harley, he was back in those days, you would defend the NWA title at a territory, and there were times where the promoter of that territory and the guy you were in the ring with, they would try to fight you and legit take the championship, and Harley was tough enough to defend the title in a pro wrestling match, or if the match turned into a shoot fight. So that was one of the reasons why Harley was NWA champion so many times. Now, I'm going to read this. That was from Trevor Murdoch from his Facebook page. I just wanted to put this out there. Harley needed to be transferred from Atlanta to St. Louis. He needed to take a med flight because he was in rough shape. Medicare wouldn't help him out. A call was made to WWE. 10 minutes later, it was paid in full. Vince McMahon never blinked an eye. He wanted to make sure Harley was taken care of. Thank you, Vince, for giving me 2 more days with Harley. So, that just kind of goes to show you the kind of guy VKM is. Any thoughts on that?
Not really. I mean, he's done stuff like this in the past, helping wrestlers with health issues, with drug and alcohol addiction issues. So, I mean, you got all that money to throw around. Why not put it to some good use? And it's nice to see that they helped out Harley and prolonged his life for a few more days so with his loved ones.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so All Elite Wrestling has some more TV news. Their second annual TV taping, Wednesday, October 9th. They're going to be in Boston, Massachusetts at the Agans Arena. And then the week after that, Philadelphia, it's October 16th, and they're going to be at the LaQuarris Center. It's at some university in Philadelphia. But so, when do you think they're going to come out here to the Bay?
I think it's going to be quite a while just because they're on the East Coast and similar to WWE, they kind of, work their way around there and eventually they'll make their way out to the West Coast, which is the best coast. And, maybe December, January time, but I mean, Cody and the Bucks, they all have roots in California. Cody wrestled in the Cow Palace. I'm assuming that's where, if they were to go somewhere, that's where they would go in the Bay Area. And going back to the Boston and the Philly shows, I think it's a good move by them because they're two big cities. They're going to draw well, probably going to sell out, and yet they're not going to the mega NBA and NHL arenas. They're going to some college basketball arenas, which are probably a little bit smaller than whatever the Garden and whatever the name is for the Philadelphia arena is. But I think it's good. I don't know where they're going to be when it comes to run in the South or run in the Midwest. If they run those areas, what kind of venues they're going to go. But if they kind of just stick to running kind of the college basketball arenas, I think that's kind of a good middle ground. And maybe they run some even smaller venues some other times.
Yeah, it's better to run a smaller venue and sell that out completely than to run a large venue and have, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 seats covered up due to production. Yeah, it's a smart move by All Elite Wrestling there. And also, they have a buy-in battle royal going on for women because, they're announcing that Women's Championship on the first television taping. So far, Jazz, the former WWE Women's Champion, has been added in there. You have Teal Piper. I think that is the daughter of Roddy Piper, if I'm not mistaken. And then also you have Eva Lee's former contestant on Tough Enough, and she did some work with Lucha Underground. What do you think about that real quick?
Well, before we started the podcast, they put out the Road to All Out's episode 4, and they had basically the entire episode was built around the Casino Battle Royale for these women. So they had Teal Piper. She cut a good promo about her and her father and kind of how she didn't really not respect the business, but didn't really come to appreciate the business until after he died and she became a wrestler and she wants to become closer to him. So I thought that was a good little segment by her. Still, I haven't seen her wrestle. I didn't even know she wrestled. So it might be a little rough, but I like Eva Lee from Lucha Underground. I think she's a good addition if she's going to stick around. Jazz, obviously, she's a veteran. I was actually kind of surprised it was her because she removed the mask. I was like, oh, that's Jazz. But they also did a little sit-down interview with Nyla Rose where she kind of talked about her, her life. But she didn't exactly straight up say that she's, transgender and transitions like that. She basically said it without saying it, which was a little bit interesting to me. But overall, it's a good, solid battle royal. Might be a little rough around the edges, but hopefully they get enough good free agents in there that the women's division could really get bolstered, because I think for it to be taken seriously, they need a few extra people in there compared to what they've been using on these past few shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nyla Rose, I'm very high on her. I do think she needs to be the first All Elite Wrestling Women's Champion and really just go on a year-run tear. Beat Jazz, beat Eva Lees, beat Britt Baker and Awesome Kong, beat Brandy, and then Smiley Kylie. Could you imagine the pop that she would get for beating somebody so dominant for that long? I think it'd be great.
I think Nyla Rose definitely is a top contender. I think, that kind of core, 3 or 4 that was in that first women's match is definitely going to be that the upper echelon for them. I still think Britt Baker is the one. If you're gonna have, I'm still leaning towards Chris Jericho being AEW champion for the men, and I don't know what they're gonna do with the tag team. So I think if you have the heel with the men's championship, I think you go with the babyface with the women's championship. I think you go Britt Baker, just because I think she's the best choice right now. But I wouldn't be opposed to Nyla Rose winning it either. But you never know; they might just sign someone out the blue like Tessa Blanchard or some other high-profile women's wrestler, maybe Sasha Banks, maybe, but we all know that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, man. Tessa Blanchard, I found out she's only like a year older than me. I thought she was older than that.
And yet she's been doing great things, and she's so young, so she has... I mean, if she doesn't want to have a family or anything, she could wrestle for another 10, 15, 20 years if she wanted to.
Yeah, and Little Mama Thickness, Jordan Grace, she's my age. I'm like, what? Really? I didn't realize these people were so young. I find that kind of stuff interesting to see where they can escalate to in the next couple of years. But, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't spend enough time on certain topics, we have a long show today. We got to get predictions for TakeOver and SummerSlam out, so we're just going to kind of move through the motions. Undertaker signs a lifetime contract to WWE. I think they're the only company besides AEW that could really pay him what he would want. Any thoughts on that?
I find it odd that it's a lifetime contract. You don't really want to tie yourself to one thing forever, but the Undertaker's had a good solid run with them the past 25 years, so I guess it makes sense. I don't see him going to AEW and being a legend there, but it's cool.
Yeah, me and Mark Calloway is all elite. That would be hilarious. All right, so Ring of Honor partners with CMLL. Ring of Honor just lost their partnership with New Japan because their product hasn't been great as of late, since the Elite left. But what are your thoughts on Ring of Honor and CMLL kind of joining forces?
With All Elite being with AAA, New Japan is with CMLL, so maybe there could still be a relationship there between those two companies. I mean, it's good. Bandito, I think, has been a good addition to the ROH roster, and if they add some more Lucha Libre stars, maybe that could help the product. We're going to have to stay tuned and find out.
Yes, we shall. All right, Cain Velasquez, the former UFC fighter. He was training out here in the Bay Area at Pro Wrestling Revolution, getting ready for his match at Triple Mania. We're going to talk about Triple Mania later on when we get to the Inside of the Ring portion of the show. I just wanted to throw that out there. WCPW, aka Defiant Wrestling, they are closing its doors after 3 years. Now, when What Culture started a wrestling promotion, I was like, what, really? I enjoyed the promotion, I'm not going to lie. I mean, they got some really big stars. They had Cody. He was their internet champion. They had Del Rio. They had Mysterio. They had Ospreay and Ricochet and Kurt Angle and Drew McIntyre / Galloway. What are your thoughts on Defiant Wrestling WCPW closing down?
Honestly, I haven't seen a whole bunch from them. I have kind of, seen some things because they post stuff on their YouTube channel. Obviously, you said they've had some big names in the past. Definitely, I highly recommend. I haven't listened to them, but if you're interested in learning more, or if you've watched WCPW, go watch the podcast that they did on What Culture and Cultaholic. They both went in depth and talked for a couple hours about their memories from there. So if you want to learn more about WCPW and Defiant, go check those two places out.
Go check them out, man. All right, so Jim Smallman is leaving Progress. He was the general manager of Progress Wrestling over in the UK, and turns out that he's going to be moving over to NXT UK. So the United Kingdom wrestling scene's kind of taking a downfall.
Well, there were some rumblings about NXT UK and how that's going to affect the entire UK indie scene, because the UK indie scene a few years ago and still pretty much today is vibrant and maybe one of the hottest things going in the wrestling business. And Progress not really linked to NXT. I mean, they kind of are somewhat, but that guy going over to NXT UK is a blow to Progress.
Yeah, it's not looking good, man. It's not. All right, for all you Bay Area wrestling fans, Dave & Buster's in Milpitas, California, they're going to be having a SummerSlam watch party. Go play some games up until the show starts, have some brewskis and some delicious food, and just watch SummerSlam in Dave & Buster's for like 5 hours.
Shout out Dave & Buster's. It's a lovely place to go. And, side note, I think I've gone to Dave & Buster's a few times this last year. I think 2 or 2 out of the 3 times I've gone, I've seen a child vomit on the floor.
Jesus, that's not good at all.
I was playing one of those like coin games where you put it in and it shoots out, and if the other coins fall down, you win tickets or whatever. And there was this one lady sitting right in front of me. She was playing the coin game while holding a plastic bag while her child was just vomiting there in public. Wasn't leaving to go tend to the kid, take her to the bathroom or leave or whatever. Just letting the kid puke in a plastic bag while she's playing games. Great parenting.
Yeah, that is not good. That's actually kind of gross. I don't even want to eat my dinner now. Thank you for that, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Yep. All right, so apparently Seth Rollins is a home wrecker. So Kaitlyn, former WWE superstar, former Divas champion, her ex-husband had an interview and he said that Seth Rollins would send Kaitlyn inappropriate pics while he was married to Kaitlyn, and Kaitlyn would be like, "Oh, he's just playing around." This is all alleged, so to speak. Kaitlyn hasn't come out and said anything yet. Rollins hasn't come out and said anything yet. But then again, can you really trust a guy who was abusing his wife?
Well, I mean, we all know that Seth Rollins does fancy himself to take some of those pictures. We've seen one of them before, so fair to say that he it would be fair to say that he would take more of those pictures.
Did you see it?
I mean, I won't say if I did or didn't see it. I just know that he took them.
I mean, I know that he took it. I'm saying, did you see it?
I mean, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Okay, then. Oh. Have you seen Paige?
All right, so moving on. Scott Dawson of the Revival tweets to AA, Arn Anderson. There was a gif of the Revival doing some amazing DDTs, and then they were like, Arn taught us well, see you later, AA. So the Revival just playing with people's emotions. Are they actually going to get up and leave? Like, what's going on?
I mean, I don't know. It feels as though like they want to leave, but then there's also money being thrown around everywhere. We thought maybe Gallows and Anderson would leave, but they didn't leave. So hopefully Revival leave, and we can finally get that Young Bucks match we've all been dying to see. But you just never know with them.
Yeah, I mean, the Revival, they have a shop on Pro Wrestling Tees, FTR, Forever the Revival, or what the Bucks and Cody made famous, the Revival. Yeah.
Or Free the Revival.
Oh, that's Free the Revival. There you go. All right, Hobbs and Shaw premieres. That's the movie with Dwayne and his cousin Roman Reigns. I listened to In the Click with Bimbo, Jimbo, and Baby Huey, and they did not say nice things about this movie.
Well, it's a Fast and the Furious movie. I don't really watch these movies. I haven't seen them since about Tokyo Drift or whatever.
It's not even a Fast and the Furious. It's like a spin-off, and they're in Samoa, and they don't have any guns or cars or anything, so they're just fighting with, like, sticks and rocks, apparently.
Well, that's Samoa. Or I thought they're in Hawaii. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie. I just saw the trailer of all the Samoans all together, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, while Rock was promoting this on, I think it's Kelly and Ryan, Ryan Seacrest, former host of American Idol. Rocky, he announced that
still hosts American Idol.
Oh, does he? I don't watch American Idol. I haven't watched that thing in like 15 years. I don't know, dude.
I don't watch it either, but my mother does. So I just watch for Katy Perry. But
I take it back. I did watch when J-Lo was had her run on there. Shout out J-Lo and Mariah Carey. Anyway, yeah. So Rocky, he says that he stepped away from the ring and he's retired. Any little reflection about the career of Dwayne Johnson, Hayward, California native?
I mean, obviously, he's one of the greatest of all time. I don't really know. But we have a long podcast ahead of him. We can't talk about The Rock's career right now.
We can't talk about The Rock's career. The no wrestling during commercials breaks ban is officially over. Thank God there were no 2 out of 3 falls. Vince, I don't know why you did that for the past couple weeks, but I'm glad you're back to your regularly scheduled programming. And the cover of WWE 2K20 is out. It is the big dog Roman Reigns and the man Becky Lynch on the cover together. Shout out Becky Grace on the cover. I think this is Roman's first ever cover too. So, well played, guys, well played.
I don't know why you just couldn't have Becky be on the cover, but it is
Roman must pose. Roman must pose at all times, no matter what.
I did like the commercial with all the legends and current day wrestlers. They all had the little boys club, and Becky just fell from the ceiling. So I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan is officially back in a WWE game. He hasn't been in one since 2K15.
There you go. Hulk Hogan is officially back, brother.
Yes. Yes, brother. That's not the only time we're going to talk about Hogan, brother. All right, we already talked about AEW and the women's title. So Tessa Blanchard, she wins the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship at Triple Mania. Shout out to Tessa. She's really making her rounds, racking up championships. I dig it. But let's talk about Triple Mania. So Cain Velasquez had his debut match with the Psycho Clown and my boy Cody Rhodes. And they went up against Killer Cross and two other people's names I cannot tell you. Kane looked good. I'm not gonna lie, man. He threw out a Hurricanrana. He did some flippy doos. What are your thoughts on Cain Velasquez's in-ring debut?
Well, Cain Velasquez.
Velasquez. I'm sorry. I've had a long day.
I thought. I saw some spots from him, and he looked pretty good. I mean, he's very athletic. We've seen wrestler or MMA fighters in the past tend to translate very well to the world of professional wrestling, just because they have the nice base in them. I think it could be said that his match and his outing was better than Ronda Rousey's debut match at WrestleMania. So, good on him.
Yeah. I think that's a very viable statement, my guy. Also, the Elite, Kenny and the Bucks, they wrestled some people I don't know the names of. I forgot. Oh wait, no, it was the Lucha Bros and the Laredo Kid, right?
That would be correct.
Did you watch that match? Was it good? I haven't seen it yet.
I did not see it. They showed some clips on the Road to All Out.
Wow.
It's on Twitch. It's for free. If you want to go check it out, you can check it out.
Oh, for sure. All right. If you want to go check out something else, go check out my interview with the APW Internet Champion Levi Shapiro. Brandon, thoughts on the interview real quick?
The cinematography and framing of that interview, pristine.
Yes, Levi and I, we talk about old school. We talk about the in and out tights. Brian Zane makes another run-in on the podcast. So it's really good. Go check it out. It's about 9 minutes. All right, this day in wrestling, there was a SmackDown on this day in 2001, and you have Undertaker and Kane defeat the natural-born thrillers of Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo to win the WCW Tag Team Championships. NWA TNA 2002, Ron Killings, R-Truth. The guy that's chasing around the 24/7 title was once the NWA World's Champion. And then there was a TNA on this day in 2007, and you have the Blueprint Matt Morgan make his debut. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, Matt Morgan, maybe someone who maybe underperformed or underachieved compared to what his look and what his stature was, but he had a good career and he's doing some good things right now in the community.
Yes, he's the mayor of a town in Florida, and Chris Van Vliet interviewed him a couple months ago. Go check it out. All right, Hootie Who 420 for the fan mail.
Hootie Who.
Why is SummerSlam is way too early? Why is that? Honestly, don't know. SummerSlam is supposed to be like the second last week of August. This is really soon for me, and nothing had enough time to build. But hopefully, it's a good show this Sunday.
Because it's in Canada, they had to push it up a few weeks, because if they have it too late, it's going to be freezing. Because Canada doesn't have any good weather, so Canada messed everything up and messed the whole build up for SummerSlam.
Wow, our next question is actually about Canada, Brandon. Way to foreshadow that.
That's what I do.
Alfie Lewis, the guy that wrote you, but you responded late.
I'm sorry. You can never let me live that down.
You never let me live a lot of things down, so it's okay. All right, since Philip loves Canada now, what's your favorite Drake song and favorite Drake album? Brandon, if you listen to Drake, same deal. Favorite Drake song? I think I'd go 0 to 100. I dig it. It's catchy. He goes hard, and then he goes into that soft kind of singing, talking Drake that he does. And I think Take Care is probably Drake's best work. Scorpion, it was nice. A couple songs I could have done without. Sandra's Rose on Scorpion was really good. That's my favorite song off of that album. But, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Toronto. Yeah, it's a lot of Drake, Brandon, what about you?
Drake is from Toronto. Drake was the Toronto Raptors mascot when they beat the Warriors, but he does make some good music. I will contest that or give up that one. So if I were to pick a Drake song, I think my favorite song is Back to Back. Fire, one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. But if I'm going to go with my favorite album of all time, it's not even an album. Technically, it's a mixtape. I'm going to go with, if you're reading this, it's too late. Best album from Drake, bar none.
Energy. Got a lot of energy. I dig it. Jumpman, shout out. Jack of all trades. Guys, I'm 38 years old and I'm a fiend for SummerSlam this Sunday. Alright, man. Hey, more power to you. I'm fiending for a couple things on Sunday for SummerSlam. I understand. Who do you 420?
Who do you go again?
What wrestler do you have the most autographs from? Oh, that's a good question. Brandon, you want to go first? Since that's your boy.
I mean, I don't think I've ever met a wrestler twice, so I don't have like a double autographs that I've gotten. I think the most autographs I have is like a page autograph because I signed up for I donated something to WWE and in return I got like a free autograph and I put down a bunch of people I want an autograph from and I got Paige's autograph and then I went to Wizard World to cut like a week or two later before the show before it came back to me or whatever and I got an autograph first. So I think I have like 2 Paige autographs, but besides that, I think I have like one of everybody.
I have 5 Cody Rhodes autographs. I just did the math real quick. Every time he came to APW, I always met him and talked to him, and Double or Nothing. I mean, yeah, Double or Nothing. He signed like 3 things for me, including my ticket to the show. So I thought that was pretty cool of him to do that. Yeah, but I mean,
but if I do meet Cody again, I would, or if Cody comes around here, I would go out of my way to meet him just so he can sign my Double or Nothing ticket.
Oh, you still have yours?
Of course I still have mine. I keep all my tickets.
Yeah,
I have a nice little Undertaker coffin. I have all my tickets from wrestling, sports, concerts, movie tickets, everything's in there.
See, I was trying to get you to do that meet and greet I did, but you weren't having it, man.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow. Just gonna play me like that. Wow. Speaking of Cody, I'm gonna throw this out there real quick. He's the only wrestler in history to have wrestled or made an appearance at WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, Triple Mania, Battle of Los Angeles, Final Battle, and Bound for Glory. The 6 biggest shows of the year. Shout out Cody, man. Did the damn thing.
Yeah, he's gotten around since he left WWE.
He has. Nigerian Prince. Kofi's run has been better than expected, but if Randy doesn't win Sunday, who beats Kofi for the title?
Well, we've speculated this, and we don't really know where Kofi ends. I think Kofi wins at SummerSlam. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's better than expected. I think the matches have been a little bit lackluster. I think the promo work and character work from Kofi has been very good. If I'm going to look down the line and who I think is going to beat him, in my dreams, it would be a Roman Reigns heel turn, but we all know that's not going to happen. But if we're going to pick somebody to take it off Kofi, it's kind of hard just because like the heel depth chart is not very good, especially on SmackDown, and Kofi's kind of beaten everybody, so I don't know. I'll just say Roman Reigns in like a babyface matchup.
That's probably true. Or, Shane McMahon beats Kevin Owens and then he wins the WWE Championship. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, he is the best in the world.
Exactly. He's the best wrestler in the world. So he should have the #1 title in the world. It just makes sense. All right, Copenhagen Smithy hit us up quite a few times over the course of the last couple of days. Hey, for Wednesday's show, does Brandon live up to the Canadian Destroyer gimmick? Yes, he does. Brandon, you wanna answer that?
I mean, I think my last few statements have lived up to the Canadian Destroyer.
I mean, at APW, he was burying Sean Spears pretty hard. Like, just because he's a perfect 10 now. I'm from Toronto, so I'm a hard 6. But Sean, my boy, he's a perfect 10. Hands down. No question about it.
He bludgeoned your boy Cody Rhodes in the head with a steel chair, and you still cheer him.
Look, we're Canadian. There's a bond there, I'll talk to somebody to see if you can become honorary, and maybe you'll understand, Brandon.
I'll just rip up that visa right in your face. I don't need it.
Also, nice interview with the Levi guy. Never heard of him, but he seems pretty chill. Oh, thanks, man. Philip, how good of a hand is Brandon? Wow! I feel like this guy's literally kind of throwing shots at you right now, man.
I'm a great hand, and I don't take any offense to that.
Okay. All right.
Great hand.
Great. You're a great hand?
A really good hand.
Oh, man. And then he texts us Ziggler. So,
we'll get into Ziggler later. Zoidberg? Shout out Zoidberg.
What was that? Oh, did he send us?
Did he send another one?
Where's the show? It's happening right now. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Then we're gonna hit the Instagram. Hit the Instagram. These are gonna be it for the DMs. All right. In Brightest Day X, our graphic designer he's actually from Kentucky. I found out, not Virginia. My bad. He says, don't know if I'll make it in time, but will Goldberg set a record in the amount of time it will take him to squash Dolph? Dude, we'll get into that when we talk about SummerSlam. All right, Kawam Shakir 90. He says, I take SummerSlam 2000 over SummerSlam 2019 because while most full-time wrestlers in 2019, WWE don't get over via reactions from the usual casual fans, but in SummerSlam 2000, most of the wrestlers got over via reactions from hardcore fans. Okay. And then he says, what are your thoughts on that, by the way, real quick?
Could you just replay that one more time? What the exact point of the question was?
Okay, so he says he favors SummerSlam 2000 over SummerSlam 2019 because of how guys got over back in the day, basically.
Well, that's kind of how why the Attitude Era was so hot, because everybody was over no matter how great they were, how stupid their gimmick was. And, I mean, I don't have the exact card in front of me, but I probably... SummerSlam 2000 probably isn't going to be as good of an in-ring show as 2019 is going to be.
That's
but
true.
The crowd loved every single minute of it probably, and that's all that matters, is if the crowd loves it and they keep coming back for more, that's all you can ask for.
Yep. All right, last up, he hits us with, it's funny that the WWE main roster performers are robotic and over-scripted on the mic, but are their real selves on social media. Well, you know, could you imagine if they had social media back in the Attitude Era, or even when Harley and Flair and Dusty, guys like that, had their run?
Kayfabe might have been dead, or maybe Kayfabe would have been even stronger because of everyone just burying everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like... I don't know, man. I do feel like the curtains have been pulled back way too much with social media. I would like for some guys to just stay in character on social media all the time. I feel like that'd be great for the business, but, you know, it's... Kayfabe's dead. Kayfabe's dead, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked a little bit about this on other podcasts, maybe off the podcast, where we kind of wanted to talk more about social media and professional wrestling. I'm not like a staunch kayfabe guy where you just have to live by the books and just do everything from what your character is, but I mean, I do enjoy it when somebody is on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and maybe not playing up their character, but, you know, just not, I think it's more, you don't have to be your character, you just don't have to do things that go against your character. Like when Braun Strowman was like a mega heel or whatever, and he's over there on Instagram posting photos, you know, of him doing cute selfies in Halloween costumes or whatever.
What? You follow Braun on Instagram?
Braun Strowman is, I do follow Braun Strowman on Instagram. Shout out Braun Strowman, he took a nice picture with Ryan Braun, so it was Ryan Braun and Braun Strowman, they posed back to back, so the shirt said Braun Strowman, get it?
Wow. I wish I could say I followed Braun Strowman on Instagram.
And another thing is, I don't really like how they use their real names. Just use your gimmick name. If you want to have like a private, real one, you can do that too. But like his name is Adam whatever, and like there's other people who use their real names, and maybe it's like they're trying to get their real names out there so they can do other things. But that's also another thing I don't like about some wrestlers on social media.
Yeah. Using those shoot names, man. Using those shoot names. All right, so we're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown. We're going to hit the big stuff that happened there, and we're not going to go over the whole show. Roman Reigns gets attacked again as he's getting out of a car. He's being confronted by Samoa Joe. Somebody tries to run him over, basically, and Roman jumps into his vehicle, lucky enough, and Triple H tries to come and tend to him. Thoughts on the attack?
I mean, it was another attack on Roman. I really liked how Samoa Joe came across on the show. I mean, the opening promo after the... shout out to WWE. They actually have an opening video and montage. I didn't even know that existed, but apparently they have a theme song for Raw. I thought Samoa Joe was fantastic on this show. I thought he came across well, and then kind of the weird where he's being a heel, but then once Roman gets attacked, he kind of is like a babyface, so maybe we're going to see a Samoa Joe babyface turn, which I'm not against, because I think... Maybe not his heel turn or his heel character has kind of been played out, but I think seeing a babyface Samoa Joe could be a lot of fun. But we're going to talk more about this whole Roman Reigns incident on SmackDown.
Yes, Brock Lesnar beats down Seth Rollins again. Seth limps out to the ring with a chair, and Brock just decimates him again. Rollins afterwards cuts a promo saying he will beat Brock Lesnar this Sunday and become the Universal Champion again.
I don't know what the point of this was. I thought it made Rollins look like an idiot. Like, he came down there like, okay, he has heart because he wasn't going to give up. But it was like, bro, you're walking down there with a limp and you can barely even walk, and you're going to expect to beat up Brock Lesnar. Like, I thought he looked like a dope. And then his, like, over the top selling at the end, trying to cut his promo. I mean, I think he got the what treatment, so it also shows that the crowd isn't really behind him all that much. Just like last week, where he was getting the one more time treatment. Not a good look for Seth Rollins these last couple weeks.
I mean, apparently he's a home wrecker, so it's understandable.
Allegedly,
Dude, honestly, I think I'll talk about this when we get to SummerSlam. So Dolph Ziggler's out there with Shawn Michaels and The Miz, and, Dolph signs a contract, thinks he's going to wrestle Miz, and then Miz is like, it's not me. And they tease me hard with Shawn Michaels. I'm like, he already came out of retirement. This match will be far better than the Blood Money in the Sand match he did with 50-year-old Kane, Taker, and a torn pec on Triple H. But Shawn says it's not him either, and Goldberg comes out there and he says that he's next. Explain this while I go answer my door, Brandon.
well, I talked a little bit about this on Under the Radar, that Dave Meltzer said that this match was apparently going to be taking place. I've talked a little bit about it on previous episodes where I liked Dolph Ziggler burying Goldberg, but I just thought that those were throwaway lines and nothing was going to come of it. And then if this was obviously in the works, these past couple weeks where Ziggler kept doing those snide comments about Goldberg, why didn't the commentary team or Miz or somebody like bring it up and kind of make that more of a point of why is he bashing Goldberg? And then once we get to this Raw where it kind of just came out of nowhere, where Goldberg just answers him, and he didn't like do anything even like on social media, or like it was just a complete surprise. And as Philip kind of said, I mean, the match people really wanted to see was not Ziggler versus Goldberg. They much rather would have wanted to see Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels. So not only do you get like a kind of crappy build that came out of nowhere, makes not a whole lot of sense, it's also the match the crowd doesn't want to see. They'd much rather see Shawn versus Ziggler, which I can't really blame them because Shawn Michaels is a more beloved character than Goldberg is. And the match itself, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a Goldberg match. He's not going to do a whole lot. That's that. I was just saying to the people how this build just kind of came out of nowhere, and people would much rather see Ziggler versus Shawn instead of Ziggler and Goldberg.
Oh, absolutely. That's hands down what I'd rather see. That's just a fact of life. All right, the OC, the original, the omnipotent, the only club that matters. They defeat the New Day and Ricochet. Foreshadowing? Huh?
It would help if I unmuted my microphone.
Yeah.
With the OC, I mean, it was fine. They're kind of building them up strong. I mean, they're just kind of building them up because especially Gallows and Anderson haven't been doing a whole lot lately. So, I mean, just pretty straightforward build. So, nothing really to complain about here.
Sorry, I had to take a bite of this delicious barbecue that my cousin made. Shout out. But yeah, man, it's just a nice little match to get ready for SummerSlam. You got two guys that are feuding, and they happen to be in a multi-man match together. Nothing big. But you know what is big? Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The 121-day reign of the Iconics. I don't think he does the gimmick anymore. It's over. Shout out. I mean, the Kabuki Warriors were in this. Mandy and Sonya Deville were in this. It was all great. It was all amazing. It really was.
I just remembered, like, after that fire promo from Sonya and Mandy, they never did get their tag team match against the Iconics, where if they win, they get a tag team title match, and if they win, they get a tag team title match.
They did not.
But anyways, I mean, the match was pretty rough, and it's really no shock that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won, because it's kind of Vince McMahon's fun new toy. I think originally it was supposed to be Cross and Bliss were supposed to, break up or whatever when Bliss was facing Bayley. That didn't really happen because I think they liked the dynamic a little too much. and the Kabuki Warriors. I mean, honestly, when this match happened, I legitimately forgot that Io Shirai, or not Io Shirai, sorry, that Kairi Sane was on the main roster and was on the main roster and doing anything. And it was just like, geez, you have Asuka and Kairi doing
Yeah.
this. It's a shame.
I mean, by the way, what's going on with Io Shirai? You can't forget that. Heyo, might have to risk it all. Don't know. But yeah, it's a shame what's going on with Asuka. I mean, she was probably top 10 greatest women's wrestlers of all time. I'll throw that out there, man. I really will. And Kairi Sane, that elbow drop is amazing. Live, that thing is fantastic. It's up there with the Eclipse for just moves that look insane on TV and then look even more insane live. But congratulations to Bliss and Cross. We're going to see where they go with this. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the 24/7 title for Monday Night Raw. Brandon, what did I tell you last week on the show? I said Maria's going to be in the hospital. I said she was going to be giving birth, but I said she's going to be in the hospital, and somebody's going to pin her in the hospital. And that's exactly what happened. So she was at the OBGYN, and the doctor, I look at her, I'm like, oh, that's the female referee. And then Mike's hugging her, and then she counts on Mike's back. It was great. Mike's the champ. And then R-Truth, Jesus, in whatever he was wearing, just rolls him up, because that's the only way you can win this championship, and becomes like the 11-time 24/7 champion. Thoughts?
Minor note, when after Maria won, she said that her OBGYN appointment was on Thursday, but yet they said that that their appointment was earlier on Monday. So did she get like a follow-up appointment? Did something happen on Thursday to constitute her going on Monday? And that that OBGYN office it looked atrocious. Like, college plays have better sets than that.
No, yeah, but look, WWE, you got billion-dollar TV deals. You don't have to go to an actual hospital or clinic, but at least get a space that at least looks like one. Like, come on, guys. What are you guys doing? Brandon, what are they doing?
They don't know what they're doing, and that's the problem.
It's I don't know. We'll fly up to Connecticut. Maybe they'll let us write for them. Don't know. All right, we're gonna move on to SmackDown Live. So Roman Reigns' mystery attacker is revealed, and Brandon and I were sitting at a Denny's after APW, and I was telling him, bruh, Buddy Murphy. He was like, no, that's not gonna happen. Then I threw Daniel Bryan's name out there, and so here we go. Roman goes into the locker room. He kicks everybody out except Buddy Murphy. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be Murphy. It's going to be Murphy. And then Roman just starts beating down Murphy because Murphy won't say anything. And then Murphy's like, it was Rowan. He's like, Daniel Bryan and Rowan? And then Daniel Bryan and, Rowan are standing in the ring after losing to the New Day via disqualification. And it just makes an interesting view. Thoughts?
Well, I guess we know what Daniel Bryan's career-altering decision was, or announcement was going to be, that apparently he was plotting murder. Allegedly. But anyways.
Hey, it's okay. Roman Reigns tried to commit vehicular manslaughter a couple years ago. Never forget.
I don't know where they're going. I think it's just going to be simple, where it's just going to be Daniel Bryan versus Roman, because I think they're advertising that for the September pay-per-view Clash of Champions. And, I thought it was just kind of weird. Like, this is an angle you run a week before SummerSlam, or 2 weeks before SummerSlam, not the go-home image before your second or third biggest show of the year. And this isn't going to lead to a match at SummerSlam, I don't think, because I don't think you're going to hotshot Rowan and... maybe you hotshot Rowan and Roman, just because it's Rowan. Who really cares if he loses? But I thought it's... I don't know what to think of this, just because it's just so out there and just kind of random. But hopefully it makes more sense on the next few weeks. But I'm not holding my breath on that.
Honestly, they could have just kept having Roman get almost attacked or whatever.
And then it's Rikishi.
Yes, exactly. I did it for The Rock. That could have happened, but no, seriously. Roman just could have kept going up to people like, I saw you were there when this happened. Who did it? He could have just kept running down the locker room or something like that. I don't know.
I didn't think Roman really came across all that well in the locker room, where he just kind of, told all the guys to bugger off and was like, He kind of looked like an a-hole there, but I mean, it's Roman. He always kind of looked like an a-hole.
I mean, you can't be an a-hole if you've had cancer. That's just not how that works.
I mean, I think Lance Armstrong might have a opinion about that.
Okay. Alright, so Shane McMahon batters Kevin Owens after the Kevin Owens show. Elias comes out there to help Shane, and Shane he gets one over on Owens. Yeah?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. I actually kind of enjoyed it just because it was a really intense beatdown, I thought, on Shane against KO. So, looking forward to the match. I mean, obviously Shane, and there's going to be some trickery and some chicanery and all that stuff, but I thought a good, solid segment.
Spot monkey galore. Yep. Alright, Ziggler defeats Mustafa Ali. Ziggler comes out with the Goldberg theme and entrance. He's kind of going back to what he was doing a few years ago, where he was just impersonating people. But yeah, I mean, I think Ziggler does a better Goldberg entrance than Bill Goldberg himself. And Ziggler was supposed to wrestle Rey Mysterio, just super kicks galore, switching musics galore. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is happening now.
I really enjoyed what Ali was doing on those video packages, and then he loses to Nakamura. Then he beats Nakamura, so I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to do a feud with him in an IC title match. And then Ali comes out this week, and then he just loses to Ziggler. I felt as though Ali shouldn't have taken that loss. He could have had somebody else like No Way Jose or Apollo Crews or, I don't know, Kalisto, some other lower babyface that Ziggler could beat to give him some sort of credibility going up into that Goldberg match. I think Ali was just the wrong person for that.
Okay, Ali's a good hand.
He is the good hand, but I think he can be elevated to semi-main or, upper echelon matches. I mean, even like Ziggler beating Rey Mysterio, I'm not in favor of that just because Mysterio losing against Andrade the day before, but I just think there's something with Ali where he could have been used because they've been putting so much TV time into them and then just loses like that. I wasn't a fan of that.
Excuse me, no, I wasn't either.
Philip, you're not supposed to be eating while on the podcast.
Look, man, I haven't eaten all day. Okay, I'm up researching, becoming a historian of this business. I'm sorry. No, but as I enjoy this delicious hamburger, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Charlotte Flair cutting a promo, hyping up her match with Trish Stratus. Brandon, take it away. Brandon?
Once again, help if I unmuted my microphone.
There we go.
So now, Philip, you can go eat your hamburger and whatever the hell else you're eating. Anyways, I thought this was a better segment than the week before. It was okay. It was better than, I guess, last week's, which was... I was not a fan of that, but I think... I forgot who it was. We're emailing where all the wrestlers are all robots and everything. I thought Charlotte kind of came across as a robot, just spitting out her queen catchphrases and just going on and on with their scripted lines. Trish getting one over on Charlotte was fine. I thought Trish had some good one-liners as well. I mean, this match is kind of just like... almost like Ziggler and Goldberg. It's like it's the legend against the person from today. You're going to watch it and see what they're doing. We didn't really talk about the tag team match and what they did with Natalya. That was fine. I think it was weird that the pairing of Becky and Charlotte with Natalya and Trish, I guess because they're Canadian, they're supposed to be together. And because they're the Four Horsewomen, they're supposed to be together, even though it was a babyface and a heel against a heel and a babyface. But anyways, that's all I got to say about that, Philip. Hopefully you have swallowed your hamburger.
I have. I've moved on to the fish portion of the plate. But yeah, promo was fine. Trish getting one up on Charlotte's always good. I do feel like SummerSlam is the best spot for legends to come back and have matches because I think we really do need to start focusing on WrestleMania being about the main roster talent. Like, seriously. I think it's time for that.
Well, I mean, usually it was these past WrestleManias, like these last 5, 6, 7 years, where a lot of the legends would come back, and we haven't really seen a whole bunch of that, so hopefully this is, just a blip and not a trend. I don't know why really Goldberg is back. It makes more sense with Trish because it is in Toronto. The Goldberg thing, maybe it's him trying to, right or wrong from Saudi Arabia, but yeah, I mean, I'm not totally against all these legends. I mean, at least these legends coming back. Because if you start, like, putting Kane and all these other lesser legends, and then that's when we have a problem.
Lesser legends. Wow. That's a take, man.
I know. A flaming hot take.
Dude, how mad would the marks be if Goldberg wrestled Matt Riddle at a takeover and beat him?
They'd be very angry, including myself. I like Matt Riddle is making no friends with these WCW guys.
He's not.
And he posted that he's gonna do something. He's gonna find Brock Lesnar. He's gonna whoop his ass. Apparently, that's what he said.
He better go get after Disco Inferno next. Yeah, Matt Riddle, look out. Firefly Funhouse happened on SmackDown. I'm glad that they're still doing these. I'm glad they haven't really run their course. Thoughts on the Firefly Funhouse?
I'm a fan of it. I think it's good having Pee Wee Bray with the Fiend. No Finn. I wish Finn could have did something. Could have spirited babyface promo before SummerSlam, but I think this just kind of shows that Finn is on his way out. Bray Wyatt's getting more of his TV time, so that's pretty much the Fiend's gonna go over, and we're not gonna see Finn for a while.
Yeah, that's just how you got to do it. What if I would have liked it if the Fiend was attacking Roman? That would have been cool.
It could have been cool. Maybe that's a way that you could spread this thing out for a couple weeks and a couple months, and while Bray Wyatt's beating up Finn Balor, he tells him to F off, then he can move his way on to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Alright, also, Aleister Black defeats Sami Zayn in what was supposed to be a SummerSlam match. I'm glad it wasn't on SummerSlam. It would have made that show even longer than it already is. Yeah.
I second that. Black won. Makes sense. It was a decent match, not as good as the Cesaro matches.
Absolutely not. Alright, here we go. The NXT Takeover predictions from Toronto. This is going to be the greatest NXT Takeover of all time. So, the title's on the line. Brandon, you're defending them back-to-back nights, potentially, allegedly.
That's what I do. I had a little blip last NXT Takeover, but I'm hoping to get back on track with this one.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into it right now. The NXT Women's Championship match. You have Shayna Baszler going up against Mia Yim. I don't know, man. You're the NXT guy, so I'll let you take this one first.
I don't really know how to go with this one. I think Mia Yim is good. I think Shayna Baszler, she's there, and it feels as though she's supposed to be called up eventually. I like Mia Yim. I don't know if she's the right person to exactly take it from Shayna. I think if it was my call, I would still hold off for Candice LeRae. I just think Candice versus Shayna could be told, but then I just don't know if Shayna's going to hold it for that long, especially with Candice doing her thing right here with Io. I don't have any other titles changing hands on this show, so I will go with Mia Yim to get the NXT Women's Championship. And it's also keeping my streak alive where I just pick against Shayna Baszler every time, and eventually I'll be right.
Oh, okay. All right. You got Mia? I will take Baszler. Yep.
Okay.
I'll take her. Because she just seems to win. All right, grudge match. You have Candice LeRae going up against Io Shirai. It's Io, no question about it.
Well, I will go with Candice to win via disqualification. I think Io will snap. I think Candice is going to put up a fight, and then Io is just going to go to the kendo stick or the chair and just wallop on poor old Candice. Candice will win the match via disqualification, but Io will stand tall and get all her heat.
All right, so next up we have the NXT Tag Team Championship. We have the Street Profits going up against the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
I will go with the Street Profits to retain. They've been on Raw doing their thing. I still think they have some unfinished business on NXT. The tag team division isn't all that good, or I guess in terms of quantity of teams on NXT compared to these past few months and years. So I think Street Profits retain. It's going to be a good match. Hopefully Red Dragon do their thing and Bobby Fish doesn't get hurt because it seems as though every takeover he gets hurt.
Yeah. Could this be the takeover where the UE holds all the gold?
It could be. It could possibly be. I mean, everybody's in a match. They could get all 3 titles. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Really? I'm going with Fish and O'Reilly on this one.
3 matches, and we have 3 different predictions. Look at that.
I know, right? Somebody's got to be right. All right, the North American Championship, the Velveteen Dream is defending against the former UK champion Pete Dunne and former NXT Tag Team champion Roddy Strong. Never bet against the Dream.
Yeah, I will go with the Dream as well. Pete Dunne kind of coming out of nowhere to challenge Velveteen Dream. I'm still interested to see what they do with that feud. I would love to see Dream and Dunne go in and have a singles match at War Games. And I don't know what you do with Roderick Strong after this, but I think Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne is definitely the money feud going forward.
I agree, man. I agree. All right, so moving on from that, we have an NXT Championship 2 out of 3 Falls match. Each match has a stipulation. It's the defending champion, Adam Cole, baby, going up against Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Gargano. Do you know what the falls are, Brandon?
I do not know what the third fall is. I assume it's announced on this week's NXT match or NXT show, which I obviously have not seen yet. But the first, or I don't know if it's the first fall, but Adam Cole's fall is a normal one-on-one wrestling match. Johnny Gargano's fall is a hardcore, no-rules street fight match.
Watch the third fall be like a ladder match or something. I'd pop huge for that.
I do not know. I can maybe check it real quick. We can, if you want to make your prediction.
I'm going Adam. I am going Adam Cole. Johnny, he had his moment. It was great, but it didn't feel right because it wasn't. He didn't beat Tommaso for it. So I am going Adam Cole Bay to retain his championship, and then Johnny can go do something else. He can go on 205 Live. Yeah.
I'm not exactly finding out what the stipulation is, but I'm thinking maybe it's going to be a thing where it's going to be one-on-one, and then at the end, William Regal's going to come out and he's going to announce what that third fall is, or maybe they just announced it on NXT and it hasn't really hit the internet yet. But I will go with Adam Cole to retain as well. I think this Adam Cole-Johnny Gargano feud has kind of run its course. I mean, I like Johnny Gargano. I think Adam Cole, there's definitely more things to do with him going forward. I mean, I'd love to see Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle. I mean, I think that's definitely the feud I would like to see going into War Games. So I'm going to go with Adam Cole. Don't know what to do with Johnny Gargano. Maybe you call him up. Maybe you wait and him and Ciampa can do something as a tag team or against each other. Who exactly knows? But I'm going to go with Adam Cole to retain.
Yeah, go check out WWE PC's YouTube channel. They just uploaded another video of Tommaso Ciampa's recovery. He's looking stronger. It really is. Yep. All right, moving on. It's the biggest party of the summer. SummerSlam's come early. Here we go. The Cruiserweight Championship. We got Drew Gulak going up against Oney Lorcan. I got Gulak.
I will go with Gulak as well. Don't really know what's going on, but Gulak's my boy.
Gulak is my boy as well. All right, you have Goldberg going up against Dolph Ziggler. I'm going Dolph Ziggler.
All right, if you're going to go with Dolph Ziggler, give me that easy dub. I will go with Goldberg. We will be in and out in under 5 minutes.
I'm doing that because I'm wearing the hat Dolph Ziggler gave me.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for that easy dub.
Okay. The Fiend Bray Wyatt is going up against Finn Balor. I got Wyatt all day.
I got Wyatt as well. We've been saying Finn's going away, so we got to feed him to the Fiend.
Absolutely. You have Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, and if Kevin Owens loses, he must leave. He must quit WWE. Oh, I don't know, man. Brandon, go.
I think this one's going to be like one of those, end of the hour main events type things. I think it's going to be a fun match. I think, Kevin Owens is definitely going to get something out of Shane. I think KO will win. I think there's going to be a lot of chicanery with Drew McIntyre and Elias, but I think KO is going to end up getting past all that, especially since the beatdown was so heinous on SmackDown. I think KO will hit a stunner for the win, and Kevin Owens will stand tall. Shane McMahon did not agree to the stipulation of him leaving if he loses, so keep that open to maybe a rematch down the line, or maybe The Miz can finally get his comeuppance on Shane, even though I think we're way past that now.
Yeah. I don't know, man, because, like, I'm looking at it like this. Kevin Owens has been dropping stunners on Shane every week leading up to this, and then Shane just got a little bit of comeuppance. It's so predictable for KO to just beat him. You know? Because after this, where does KO go? That's a real question. Like, what does he do after this?
Maybe Randy Orton beats Kofi. Maybe KO wins the championship. Kevin Owens has honestly been pushed harder this past month than Kofi Kingston has, and he's the champion. I mean, how many times have we seen Kevin Owens ending SmackDown? I think it's been like at least 2 out of the last 3 or 4 SmackDowns. So, I mean, Kevin Owens is getting a push. I'm happy to see it. Finally, I don't know what they were doing that 1 week where he came back and he joined the New Day and then turned on him just to turn back babyface, but.
Yeah,
I think he's able to come out of all that, and I think he's hurt a little bit, but I still think he can be one of the top guys in the company. Philip, did you mute your microphone and start talking?
What happened?
I thought you were going to say something, and
dead
air. We can't have dead air, Philip.
My microphone was muted. I pulled a Brandon. I'm sorry.
You never pull a Brandon. So are you going to go with Mr. Shane O'Mac?
Yeah, I officially picked Shane McMahon. I do.
Going with the legends or the old people. I wouldn't know if I'd call Shane McMahon a legend.
Well, Shane McMahon's a legend. Hands down. He's the best wrestler in the world. Alright, the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. You have Bayley going up against Ember Moon. Brandon, go.
I don't really know what to say about this match. I mean, the build has not been that good. Bayley's kind of cold as a champion. Ember Moon's kind of cold as a challenger. I just think Bayley's the bigger star. They have more faith and have more of a track record pushing Bayley. So I think they're just going to keep it on Bayley. I don't know where they go from here. I mean, hopefully they turn Asuka heel and they have her just run rampant as a single star, and maybe we get Asuka and Kyrie and then Asuka versus Bayley. But I was thinking maybe Ember, just because I don't see a lot of title changes on this show, so I would go with Ember, but I'm going to go with Bayley for the victory to retain.
Okay. So you got Bayley. I think this is a nice spot for Ember, because, if Ember wins, who's a real challenger for her? We don't need to see Charlotte in the title picture again, really, and be honest with you. But yeah, I'll go Bayley as well. Next up, we have the phenomenal AJ Styles, who will be accompanied by the only club that matters, the OC. By the way, Brandon, I highly recommend you go find that theme song of the OC TV show and just kind of mark out to it, as I do. Anyway, yeah, so AJ Styles is defending the U.S. title against Ricochet. I got Styles. I do.
I will go with Ricochet. I don't really have a reasoning for it. I just have an inkling, I don't know how to say that word, but I'm going to go with Ricochet. Inkling, I don't know.
Inkling?
Shout out to Ricochet. I think he is going to win one of the few, if not the only, title-changing hands on this show.
Oh, no. Next up, it is the biggest title in professional wrestling. It is the title of record. It is the #1 prize in sports entertainment, the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston in April becomes the first African-born WWE Champion. He's had a nice little run with it, longer than I expected. But does he lose it after this 10-year feud and war that he's really had with Randy Orton that hasn't really been spoken about a whole lot on camera? Does Randy Orton become a 14-time world champion? Do we go back to the age of Orton? Remember, Randy used his backstage influence to kind of hold Kofi Kingston down.
I think, as you said, they kind of pushed this narrative pretty hard about Kofi and Randy. I think Kofi's going to get the victory here. I know Randy Orton has a history of spoiling dreams at SummerSlam, but I think he's gonna not spoil Kofi's dream this time, and I think Kofi will retain. As we said, I don't know where we really go from here,
Oh,
but
dude, we all know where we go. Shane beats KO. Shane versus Kofi. Boom.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's what you think. I don't think
And
that's what I
then,
think.
and then the first night on Fox, Roman beats Shane for the title.
Oh, okay. So it all leads back to the big dog. But I got Kofi retaining in a feel-good moment of the night.
Yeah, man. Or, Big E just finally turns on Kofi. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll have to go Kofi too. Randy, he's a legend. He can float in this scene for any time he really wants to, you know what I mean?
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Hey, I wish a lot of people would pick up what I throw down. All right, Charlotte Flair goes up against Trish Stratus. Now, Trish Stratus, possibly the greatest women's champion of all time. She was my favorite women's wrestler for quite some time. Charlotte, she's crept into that spot. Charlotte, the 9-time women's champion. She's the current greatest women's champion of all time. So it's very interesting. And by the way, guys, before SummerSlam, go watch the lead up to WrestleMania. Was it 21, 2005, when she was feuding with Christy Hemme? Those March Raws in 2005. Trish was really on her A game. It just reminds me of how great she once was, and I think she could still go in the ring a little bit. But I got Charlotte. Charlotte's the female legend killer.
I will go with Charlotte as well. I think Trish is going to get a nice ovation. I think it might have been a little sign that she didn't really wrestle a whole lot or at all on that Raw tag team match. Maybe this match is going to be a little rough, but I'm going to go with Charlotte just to get a win over the legend.
Yeah, I believe you, man. All right, next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship. We got the man, Becky Lynch, going up against the Canadian native of Natalya in a submission match. Natalya's got a little edge to her. I like it. I like it a lot.
I do like how Natalya is portrayed right now. It's a submission match. Normally that means the babyface is going to win. They might be playing a little bit off of,
Wait, who's the heel here, though?
I think obviously Natalya's the heel.
But they're going to be in Canada. She's going to get cheered.
I mean, I don't know if that's a foregone conclusion. I think she will get cheered. I think Becky will get cheered as well. I don't think the person to get booed outright. Yeah. Maybe it will be Becky, but I mean, SummerSlam is kind of a traveling crowd. So, I mean, there are going to be a lot of Canadians there, but there are probably going to be a lot of people from New York and the East Coast and all around the world traveling to see this match. Or not this match, but this show.
That's very true, man. It's very, very true. So, who do you officially have?
I will go with Becky. I think they could do the whole, Bret Hart Stone Cold finish where Becky passes out. But I think Becky's going to get the win here. Don't really know where you go from here, but I think if Becky is going to be your 2K cover star, maybe she doesn't hold it until the release date, but I think she's going to be booked strong for at least the next few months or next something.
Who does she feud with after this? Where's Baron Corbin on this card?
Well, you
don't need Baron Corbin.
You don't need. Well, Baron Corbin's the reason why I'm the Bulletcast champion.
Don't remind me. I got Becky. I got Becky. I'm sorry. I do have Becky. I don't want to go. Oh, I'm going against my Canadians. I feel bad, man.
You already went against Trish.
I did. Oh my god. I'll pick Natty. Screw it. I'll pick Natty. We've agreed a little too much. I'll pick Natty.
Okay.
I got to go with my Canadians, man. I'm sorry. All right, next up, it is the Universal Championship. It is Brock Lesnar defending against Seth freaking Rollins. He's been kind of watered down as late. I think Brock wins and Seth he needs a revamp. Because let me tell you, when he splits up from the Shield and then he wins the WWE title at WrestleMania, which you were at, Brennan, that 2015 heel run of Seth Rollins, it was beautiful. It was excellent. I love a heel Seth Rollins. I do.
I don't really know if you want to turn Seth heel just because I feel
you do. Look at AJ. Look how much we enjoy AJ more.
But the thing is, he's turned so many times. I mean, he was just a heel, I feel like he was a heel last year, and now he's a babyface.
He was a heel 3 years ago.
I think it was like 2 years ago.
It's been 3. He officially turned face in 2016 when he was chasing KO for the Universal title. I just watched the stuff back a couple of days ago. So this is what we need to do. Brock wins, and Seth goes back to that heel Seth Rollins. I'd be in favor if he got the blonde streak back, and we went back to that Seth Rollins, because that Seth Rollins was mean and dirty, and he didn't give a damn about anybody. He was so much better on the mic. He wasn't saying Brock Lesnar and Sparkle Crotch and all that other stuff. He was good on the mic. I miss that Seth Rollins.
I mean, I just don't know if you really want to turn him because maybe I'm thinking it was a little longer than actually, or was a little shorter than actually was, but I just think you keep him babyface. I think maybe you have him go away for a little bit. Because he's hurt. I think he's going to be selling some sort of injury. If he goes through what he did on Monday, he can't just come back 6 days later and be like, fine. He has to be selling something, maybe even worse than what he was on Monday. I think Brock's going to win. I think he goes away, maybe not as much as Finn does, but I think Seth goes away. I think Brock, and as I said, maybe a Samoa Joe babyface turn going that into Survivor Series or into the fall, whatever, Brock's dates are available. I think, Brock versus Samoa Joe, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that can be. So, for the record, you have Lesnar?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Here we go. So, the NXT Takeover predictions. I have Baszler, you have Mia Yim. I have Io, you have Candice. I have Undisputed Era, you have the Street Profits. We both have The Dream. We both have Adam Cole. Now, SummerSlam predictions. Both have Gulak. Do you have Ziggler or Goldberg?
I'm taking that easy dub with Goldberg.
Okay, so you picked Goldberg officially. I didn't get that one written down.
I think I was just too busy laughing at you for picking Ziggler.
Dude, hey, I'm picking Dolph. So I have Ziggler, you have Goldberg, we both have Wyatt, I have Shane, you have Owens, both have Bayley, I have Styles, you have Ricochet, both have Kofi, both have Charlotte. I picked Natty because, she's Canadian, you have Becky, and we both picked Brock. Superstar Spotlight, I'll wait till the SummerSlam recap that we're going to do to give you mine. I really don't have one right now. Do you have one, Brennan?
I've been singing the praises of Samoa Joe this entire show, so I'm going to give it to Samoa Joe.
Hey, there you go. Our promo pick of the week, my boy CM Punk challenges Brock Lesnar to a SummerSlam match, Monday Night Raw, July 22nd, 2013. I just watched the SummerSlam match they had earlier today. God, it was good. It was so good. Brock was he was a little thicker back then too.
Back when he was on that juice.
Allegedly, of course. That WWE health and wellness policy. If you get popped for Adderall, then I don't know if you're passing the juice. I don't know if you're passing OJ through there. Not Simpson, of course.
I thought this was a good, solid promo. I think babyface CM Punk from this time was a whole lot of fun. As you said, the match was really good. I think this could have been what Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar could have done at their WrestleMania match, but we might have seen a less motivated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32.
That's very true. WrestleMania 32. Never forget. All right, Brandon, talk to us about our match pick of the week.
So we haven't exactly done SummerSlam matches all that much leading up to SummerSlam, so we're going to go with the kind of main event from a SummerSlam in 1991. This was the Match Made in Heaven, Match Made in Hell show where Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth get married. But before that, the actual main event, the last match on the card, was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior taking on Colonel Mustafa, formerly known as the Iron Sheik, General Adnan, and Sergeant Slaughter in a handicap match. This match is more famously known for what happened before the show, because this is the show where Ultimate Warrior allegedly held up Vince McMahon for $500,000 before the show took place, and if he didn't get that money, he wasn't going to wrestle. And it's a little interesting how the match finish ends, because Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior might win, but yet Ultimate Warrior is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I was, when you texted me this, I was surprised. I'm like, why'd you pick a Warrior match, given how you feel about the Ultimate Warrior, and just given what we know about the man that was behind the character, and especially with Hulk Hogan and all the stuff that he's done in the last couple years. It's just really big. I don't know why, man. Why'd you pick this? That's my real question here.
Well, last week I did Sergeant Slaughter because Sergeant Slaughter was doing his interview with my boy Wade Keller, so I was inspired by him. He talked a little bit about him and Sheiky Baby getting the news of Ultimate Warrior holding events, and Vince told them about it. And Iron Sheik was legitimately gonna like shoot on the Warrior and like possibly kill him in the middle of the ring. And Vince did not want two lawsuits going on at that time.
Oh yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I never thought we'd talk about Hulk Hogan this much ever again on this show. Ultimate Warrior, that matter either. I think we've never even talked about Iron Sheik on this show.
And I'm pretty sure we've definitely never talked about General Adnan on this show.
No, absolutely not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram The BulletCast, YouTube channel The BulletCast. Email is bulletcast2 sweet swet@gmail.com. 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can hear this luscious voice box give you an eargasm and all that other stuff. I know I just went there, broke the fourth wall. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, Patreon, iHeartRadio, the whole 9 yards. Pro Wrestling T/BulletCast. We can do the whole damn thing. Buy a shirt. Mine's the only one in existence right now. Brandon hasn't bought one yet for whatever reason. Don't know why. A couple people noticed the logo at APW. I really dug it. By the way, go check out the Levi Shapiro interview. Really solid, really good-ish. Brandon and myself will be back Sunday night after SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the BC, the Podfather signing off. See you next time.
This has been the BulletCast. Thank you for listening.